What if Satoru Gojo got caught in a multiverse of art styles? I reimagined him in 8 iconic looks, from Adventure Time to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and the results are wild. Let's jump into the time lapses and see Gojo like you never seen him before. Let's kick things off with the world of Adventure Time, a place full of stretchy limbs, noodle arms, and pastel colors. One of the first things I had to think about was simplifying Gojo's complex features. The Adventure Time style, developed by Pendleton Ward, thrives on clean lines, flat colors, and very minimal details. Gojo's iconic blindfold becomes a soft, curved shape that hugs his face instead of wrapping tightly rendered shadows. His spiky white hair, always a huge part of his silhouette, gets rounded off and puffed up, almost like cotton candy. Now, if you've seen Adventure Time, you know it's a deceptively simple style. The characters are drawn in a way that makes them accessible to animators and audiences alike. But the stories go surprisingly deep. Is that duality actually reflects Gojo really well. He's someone who comes across as carefree, humorous, and even goofy just like Finn. But under the surface, there's power, complexity, and some emotional scars. So the tone of Adventure Time ended up being a surprisingly fitting match for this personality. He'd probably fit right in with the gang. Maybe it's a mysterious traveler who occasionally drops deep existential wisdom between battles with the Ice King or Golb. There he is, Satoru Gojo, Adventure Time style, soft, squishy, and still somehow carrying that I'm the strongest energy. From the stretchy softness of Adventure Time, we now take a sharp turn into the high-octane, muscle-bound world of Dragon Ball Z. This style is all about power, drama, and exaggerated intensity, which makes it a surprisingly perfect match for Satoru Gojo, the man who casually bends space and time while looking like a model. The Dragon Ball Z hairstyle, especially during its golden era under Akira Toriyama, is instantly recognizable. Bold outlines, sharply defined muscles, spiky gravity-defying hair, and those iconic dramatic poses. Everything screams action. To reimagine Gojo in this universe, I had to ask what would Gojo look like if he trained with Goku. First off, let's talk about hair. Gojo's signature white hair already spikes upward, so giving him the DBZ treatment felt surprisingly natural. Facially, Dragon Ball Z characters have strong cheekbones, angular jaws, and pronounced brow lines. I sharpened Gojo's jaw and gave him that signature Z-Factor look, confident, slightly smug, and completely battle-ready. His smirk was upgraded into more of a Vegeta level green, full of bravado with a hint of menace. His outfit also got a makeover. Instead of his modern black high-collar uniform, I designed a sleeveless variation that resembles Goku's gi, but in black with deep blue accents. This shows off the toned chest and muscle definition that are a staple of the DBZ aesthetic. Now, here's the final drawing. Spiked hair, chest muscles. If he shouted "Domain expansion" and launched into the air, no one will question it. In fact, Gojo might just give Cell a run for his money. From the muscle-popping intensity to big-eye chaos, now we're diving into the sugar, spice, and everything nice world of the Powerpuff Girls. This style may seem like a mismatch at first for the dangerously cool Satoru Gojo, but turning him into a round floating little powerhouse was actually one of the most fun transformations in this challenge. Created by Craig McCracken in the late 90s, the Powerpuff Girls has a distinctive visual style that's equal parts retro, minimal, and explosive. The characters are essentially made of basic shapes: round heads, oval bodies, stubby arms and legs, and giant expressive eyes that take up half the face. The aesthetic is deceptively simple, and it allows for over-the-top action and hilariously dramatic facial expressions. I kept the large round head and small floating body standard to the Powerpuff look, and simplified his outfit to a single black shade with minimal detail. No zippers, no folds, just a black piece that echoes his Jujutsu High uniform. The Powerpuff Girl style has huge cartoon eyes, so I wanted to keep them visible and skip the blindfold for this one. This way we can see his eyes, which of course are bright blue glowing with Gojo's 6 eyes technique. I gave him the same huge irises that Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup have. Color-wise, I stuck with the show's bold, flat fills. No gradients, no shadows. The palette is limited but bold. Big shapes, no blending. And now here's of Powerpuff Gojo. Just look at him, floaty, fierce, and somehow still smug. He could probably take Mojo Jojo's layer apart in 5 seconds flat. Get ready for Naruto style Gojo. Okay, let's not pretend this wasn't inevitable. Satoru Gojo and Kakashi Hatake have been twinning across the anime dimensions for years now, and I finally gave in. For their style, I decided to lean all the way into the meme. I drew Gojo as if he just waltzed into the Hidden Leaf village and stole Kakashi's outfit, and dared anyone to say something. This design is part tribute, part roast, and 100% factual observation, because let's be real, Gojo is basically Kakashi on ultra hard mode with an energy drink addiction and a god complex. Let's unpack it. Visually, I borrowed the classic Naruto anime art style: spiky, expressive hair, strong cheekbones, minimal shading, and those thin, confident lines around the eyes and jaw. But instead of blending Gojo's fashion sense into the Naruto universe, I took a hard left and slapped him straight into Kakashi cosplay. The iconic green flag jacket, black undershirt, and of course, the forehead protector pulled over his eyes. The only thing missing is the little orange book. The joke writes itself. Both are white-haired, blindfolded geniuses who hide their OP eyes behind fabric and sass their students with cryptic life advice. And now for the moment of glorious ridiculousness. He's the finished piece. There he is, Kakashi Gojo, or Gojo Kakashi, I don't know, but he's clearly here to flex his jutsu and steal your screen time. Alright, next up, Samurai Jack style Gojo, or as I like to call him, domain expansion, but make it minimalistic. This one was a wild shift in tone and technique. We are talking sharp edges, flat colors, almost zero facial detail, and that signature Gendy Tartakovsky silhouette work. Samurai Jack was famous for saying more with less, and drawing Gojo in this way meant stripping his whole chaotic energy down to its most essential shape. First, let's talk anatomy. Samurai Jack characters have the long blocky geometry, so I drew Gojo's head with a heavy straight jawline. His hair, still spiky, but no shading or tiny strands, just bold white shapes with black outlines that scream silhouette first design. And here's some trivia: Samurai Jack had an entire episode with zero dialogue. That's how confident they were in the storytelling power of visuals. No words, just shape, pacing, and silhouette. I love that. And here's the final piece. Look at him, crisp, angular, low-key terrifying, like he's about to say Sukuna, never heard of him, and walk away through a flaming bamboo forest. Let's be real, Gojo is already OP in Jujutsu Kaisen, so dropping him into the Pokémon universe just feels unfair. Imagine showing up to a gym battle and this guy walks in with 6 Ultra Balls and a smug little smile? You're toast before the match even starts. For the art style, I pulled from the mainline Pokémon game's official artwork, especially Ken Sugimori's clean line cel-shaded style from Gen 1 through Gen 5. You know, that crisp anime adjacent look with bold outlines, expressive faces, and simple but iconic poses. Gojo's design follows that formula: high contrast, limited shadows, and a big clear smile with just enough mischief in his eyes to say, "You're about to get reverse swept by a level 100 Alakazam." Let's break this down. I kept his hair wild, but I drew more compact and rounded like how trainers often look in the games, not spiky in every direction with like a full anime. The jacket? Classic dark trainer coat with a slight color pop. Now let's play the game. What team will Gojo actually use? You know, he's rolling up with a full psychic team, no question. I'm talking Alakazam, Gardevoir, Espeon, Metagross, Gallade, and of course Mewtwo, because come on, he is the limitless one. And now let's take a moment to enjoy the final drawing. Look at him, Trainer Gojo, ready for the Pokemon League finals, probably with 6 full restores and a telepathic link to his team. Now we're diving straight into the wild, weird, and wonderfully retro world of Ranma and Huff. And now, seeing Gojo in this style is like stepping into a 90s anime fever dream. The art style here is instantly recognizable. Huge expressive eyes, exaggerated emotions, a mix of serious martial arts poses, and absolutely unhinged slapstick reactions. And Gojo fits right in. To match the vibe, we drew Gojo without the blindfold or glasses, leaning into that classic Ranma silhouette. Spiky hair, confident smirk, and yes, he definitely gives strong Ranma Saotome or even Ryoga Hibiki energy. You could imagine him in the middle of an intense duel, or like falling into a cursed spring and turning into a panda. Anything goes in this universe. Let's talk about what makes Ranma's style so specific. Created by Rumiko Takahashi, the queen of iconic manga aesthetics, Ranma, it's all about clean lines, expressive facial shapes, and fluid body language. The style leans heavily on comedic timing and elastic animation. Characters often go from serious to ridiculous in one frame. Design-wise, Gojo's dark uniform still fits perfectly within this universe. I toned down the heavy shadows and sharp highlights you'd see in something like Jujutsu Kaisen, and instead kept the coloring mostly flat with some cel shading. Now, here's a fun fact. Rumiko Takahashi didn't originally intend for Ranma to become such a full-blown action comedy. It started more as a martial arts romantic comedy, but fans latched onto the chaotic fights and transformations. So that's our Gojo in Ranma and a half style. Retro, chaotic, and brimming with martial arts energy and 19th anime charm. I kinda get why everyone has a crush on him. Brace yourselves. We're entering the bold, over-the-top universe of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. and we're bringing Satoru Gojo with us. This version is shoulders up, but that doesn't mean we're holding back on the flair. In fact, JoJo's style thrives in exaggeration. This Gojo brings all the intensity of a full-page manga close-up. First things first, the face. In JoJo's world, faces aren't subtle, they are theatrical. So I leaned into that with Gojo's features. Sharper cheekbones, deeper shadows around the eyes, and angular brows that looked like they were carved with a sword. His smirk, arrogant enough to make Dio proud. We ditched the blindfold and the glasses, letting those bright, piercing eyes take center stage. They're a must in this style. Now, the line work. JoJo's art is notorious for its heavy black shadows, cross-hatching, and widely expressive inking, so I added lots of hatching around the nose, the eyes, and cheekbones. Even just from the shoulders up, the form feels intense and almost sculptural. The hair gets a boost too. Gojo's usual spiky white hair is perfect for JoJo's gravity-defying aesthetic. Gave it harder angles to fit the style. A fun bit of trivia here, JoJo's art style has evolved like crazy over the decades. Early parts were all about big muscles and angular faces, part 1 and 2, while the later parts transitioned into sleek, fashion-forward models with a vanguard shading, like in parts 5 and 7. My take lands into that mid-range JoJo vibe, still muscular and intense, but polished and dramatic. Even just from the neck up, Gojo feels like he belongs in this universe. He doesn't even need to say anything, but if he did, you know he'd drop a pun, then obliterate the laws of time and space with a smirk. And yes, I know he doesn't strike a JoJo pose here, but in this headshot, his eyes are doing all the work. He is the pose. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is all about standing out, being bold, and embracing weirdness. And Gojo, even cropped at the shoulders, slides right into that world like he's been there the whole time. And that's Gojo in 8 different styles, from cartoon chaos to anime intensity. Which one was your favorite? Drop it in the comments. If you like this, check out my video where I draw Minecraft Steve in 4 different styles. It's just as wild. See you there!